All right. Welcome to Eli's Movie Corner. Today we're going to be talking about the long anticipated Django Unchained. This is the new Quintin Tarantino movie. And if you're like me, if you're like a huge fan of Quintin Tarantino, this movie delivers absolutely 100%. This is your typical Tarantino movie. It's got a lot of awesome dialogue. It just rolls off the actors' tongues and it's awesome to listen to. It's got some great acting performances, and it's got a good story behind it too. It kept me entertained the entire time, and I'm a big fan of Tarantino because Tarantino takes a genre, like for example Kill Bill takes the samurai genre and spins it on its head. You can tell that he studied the genre. He knows what he's doing. Way back in the early days, Pulp Fiction came out, and that was kind of a gangster movie, and this does for westerns, spaghetti westerns particularly, what Kill Bill did for samurai movies. It's a Tarantino movie, and it's going to introduce a lot of people to the spaghetti western genre, where you have big operatic music, you have people. It's a Tarantino movie, so like I said, people are getting killed all the time. Yeah, I know I've said that a few times already. There's a lot of blood in it. There's a lot of swearing in it, as your typical Tarantino film will be. So if that bothers you, skip this film. But I loved this film because things were violent back then, and they used the N-word a lot. So if you're offended by that, you're meant to be offended by that. But you might want to skip this movie if that gets under your skin too bad. But you'll be really missing a great show because this movie had me entertained from start to finish. And there was a couple of scenes where, there was one scene where Django is talking to the bounty hunter, played by Christoph Waltz, where they're in the kind of a canyon and it's shot on the back of a cliff. And I just thought to myself, man, he's so good at just shooting this. No one else would have shot this way. And then there's another scene where a slave gets torn apart by dogs, and he doesn't really show it right away. And I'm thinking, man, what's wrong? This is Tarantino. It's supposed to be full of blood. He's supposed to explode like a overripe tomato, And he doesn't show it. And then I thought, what's wrong with him? I would have shown that. But he shows it later in a flashback. So I'm sorry for ever questioning you, Quintin. I'm not worthy. You're awesome. And this is just an awesome show. This is one of the top 5 movies of 2012 for me. And click here next week and you'll be able to see my top 5 movies of 2012. This is definitely worth your time and your money. And it just goes to show, Jamie Foxx does a good job, but Leonardo DiCaprio does an even better job. He's an awesome, awesome villain. And the bounty hunter, played by Christoph, is just awesome. He's the character that makes this role and this whole movie work, because he's the guy that frees Django. He's the guy that teaches him how to be a bounty hunter and make all this money. And it's just entertaining just to watch him from start to finish, because you never know what's going to happen with this guy. And he's not scared of anybody. He'll go into any situation, and it's just amazing. And at the end, the ending was awesome too. I actually felt like I was watching a souped up version of Scarface, because I won't ruin it for you, but there's kind of like 2 levels to the plantation house, the big house they call it, and just watching stuff go down in that main entryway. It's just awesome. The action is awesome, and it's over the top. It's like you would expect. So it's almost cartoonish at times. So you would see it, like someone gets shot and just blasted completely out of the frame. So it's worth seeing. I'm actually going to go see it again. I liked it that much. So double thumbs up. Probably give it a 9 out of 10, or give it 4 out of 5 stars. Very, very good film. Entertaining and awesome to watch. So go check it out. Let me know what you think. Have you seen Django yet? Did you like it? If not, what's your favorite Tarantino movie? Are you a fan of Tarantino? I know most of you will probably say Pulp Fiction. For me, it was definitely Kill Bill. Not part 2, like most people. Part 1 was my favorite Tarantino movie. That's the one where I've always kind of liked Tarantino, but Kill Bill Part 1 is where I liked it. So if you're not sure if you want to see this movie, why don't you go check out Kill Bill Part 1. I'm sure you can find it in a Redbox for $1. That way you're not, putting all your money in on something that you might not like. If you're a fan of Tarantino, this movie will not disappoint you, and it's a great show. So tune in next week, and we'll talk. I'm going to tell you my top 5 movies of 2012. Thanks, guys. Have a good New Year.